Hey there, everybody. We are moving on to the wonderful world of databases, and we are going to be playing with PostgreSQL. So by now you should have installed PSQL. You can see that this works. If you type PSQL, you should get to some command prompt with some version of PSQL running on your computer. To get out of this, you can type /q, and that will get you out of the PSQL server. You can tell there's a pretty big difference between the working environment in PSQL and your terminal. And so if you're ever wondering if you're in there or not, that would be one way to do it. So let us talk about databases. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a new database. We're going to connect to it. And inside the database, we'll create a new table. And then we're going to work our way backwards. We're going to undo it by dropping the table. Then we'll drop the database. And then I'll show you how to do those things a couple of those things a little bit shorter on the command line. So once again, I'm going to go into PSQL. It logs me in as me, the person the account I set up when I set up my OS. And then from here, I can try to create a new database. So I can create database. And this also, this command line does have tab complete. So you'll often see me tabbing to get past typing certain things. Create database. We give it a name, pet pals. And then we have to end our SQL commands with a semicolon. This is incredibly crucial, although this is optional in JavaScript. It's not optional in our SQL commands, and this helps us. If we don't put a semicolon, we can start typing on the next line. And so if we're playing on the server, often this allows us to write everything not as one long line, but instead as you might write it for a human to read. So that's helpful. So I'm going to create this database, pet pals. You can see the result of the command was run here. So what I can do is I can connect to that. So /c allows me to connect to a database. If I start typing pet pals, if I hit tab, it'll know that there is a database named pet pals. I'm going to connect to it. You are now connected to the database pet pals as user Matthew Short. Okay. So now I'm connected to pet pals. You can see the name of the database is over here. I can now create a table inside of here. I'm going to clear this off. I'm going to type create. And again, if you do a tab complete here, it'll show you all the things you can create. There's tons of things here. We don't often go in and create all these things, but there's a lot available to us inside of databases. I want to create a table, and I'm going to call it pets. Now, I believe I will be able to create a table with no definition. We'll see. So normally you would create a table of pets, and then in between these two lines you would put your table definition. But I can create the table just fine. It exists. I could even query against it, select star from pets, and we'll see that nothing came back. And in sort of an insult to injury, there's no table definition, so there's not even any column names inside of my rows, right? There's no information on this table. That's fine. The point of this video is not to create a robust table. We're going to create a table that we're immediately going to drop table pets. You see that drop table happened. Now if I were to do select star from pets, you'd see that there is no pet. There is no pets table. I can't do this. This doesn't make sense to me. Okay, and then we can drop the database too, drop database, and then pet pals, like that. Oh, cannot drop the currently open database. Let me go ahead and quit out and re-enter. I'm going to drop the database, pet pals, like that, and now it's gone. So if I try to connect to pet pals, the database does not exist. Go ahead and get out of here. And just quickly, in terms of creating and dropping the database, there are command line tools for us to be able to do that. I could create DB, and I could recreate pet pals. And if I want, when I call PSQL, I can type the name of a database here, and it will connect automatically as the database that I'm going to use, like that. And now I'm connected to PetPals here. And if I leave, I can drop DB, PetPals, like that, and the database doesn't exist anymore. If I try to connect, cannot connect to server, database PetPals does not exist. So that's it. I just wanted to show you sort of the entry point for playing with PSQL outside of something like Node. We can use the PSQL server to directly interact with our databases. This is useful when you want to do some test queries. You don't want to write a lot of JavaScript code to get it up and running. You can just go in and write the query directly. All right, thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.